morning. Today is December 9th. I haven't recorded for a couple days. I ended up getting a little bit of a head cold, and then Harper, one of my sons and my husband had a little bit of a stomach bug, but thankfully it seems to have just affected them too, and they are improving, so that's great. But sorry, my daughter is eating oatmeal. I thought this would be a quiet moment, but we will see. So I haven't recorded for a few days, but I had a couple minutes and I figured I'd catch up. We have a pretty busy week ahead of us. I just have a lot of stuff going on, so it'll be a good week, and hopefully I can fit in a little bit of knitting. So I thought I would catch you up on my Advents. Here are my Advent socks. This is by Freckled Whimsy. So I've done 8 stripes, and I'm about to start my 9th one, which is this really pretty, I don't know how you describe it, like steel gray blue color, and then it looks like it's gonna peak. Maybe the next stripe will be a mint. So I'm actually really excited for the next few stripes, just getting a little peek into the cake from the outside. So yeah, that's my socks. And if you haven't seen before, I'm doing the Drea Renee Knits Everyday socks. So this is my first time. I started her Curio socks during her knit along, but I could not knit them fast enough. But those are toe up, and then I needed to set those to the side while I worked on my Advent socks. So these are also toe up, but these will be my first completed pair of toe up. And they look so funny. It's a fully ribbed sock, so it's rib on the top and bottom. So that's why it's pulling in like this. But I have tried them on and they actually fit really well. And I'm really excited because I could see how this would be a really good fitting pair of socks. And I love, if I can get the fit right, I really enjoy toe up, because then you can really good, I have some like 50-gram skeins of yarn in my stash, and you could totally, just use as much of them as possible. So I started on a purple, and then I'm back at a purple, which is really funny because the stripe before this one was a light pink, and the stripe before this one is a light pink. So my friend Laura and I got the same skein of yarn, and hers had a light pink and then a purple, and so did mine. So we were like, oh perfect, let's just start on the purple, because we didn't have the full stripe of pink. And it turns out she started right here and then went up, in the sequence, and then mine started right here. So I'm about to start where my friend Laura started at. So that's kind of funny, but yeah, I've been loving these socks. I've definitely been focusing on my blanket more, just because that's a really big time commitment. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the focus of all this. There we go. So this is kind of like, I say my park knitting, but with the ages of my kids right now, I have all these grandeur ideas that I will bring my knitting to the park and actually get something productive done. But that's not what happens. So this is like, if I finish my blanket, I knit on this, or like maybe if I have a couple moments in the day, then I'll pick these up. But I'm typically knitting on my blanket, although it is getting very large, so I can see how this could be harder and harder just to pick up and put down like I've been able to do. So without further ado, here is the blanket. Ooh, look, it's getting so big. So here's day 1. Ooh, let's see if I could remember the colors. That would be impressive. Okay, this is Nutmeg Latte. Oh look, I already forgot. Let me look it up, because that would be interesting for you to know. Okay, so we have Nutmeg Latte was day 1. Foxtail, Robin's Egg, Charred Amber, and then I have no idea how to say this one, but it is Echuria? I'm not sure. And then Woodland, Deep Woods, Christmas Candy, and then I am adding in Autumn Maple, which, holy moly, look at this color. Look at this color. You're getting a little peek at my daughter in the background. Isn't this color gorgeous? And to me, this is so Kayla, so Naughty Pine Fiber Co. I love this color. So if you haven't seen before, I'm holding this blanket with a skein of solid yarn, custom dyed for me by my friend Laura of the Back Porch Fiber Co. And it's this really pretty warm taupe brown color. And it is going perfect. It's actually really funny. I think my husband didn't realize, you know, well, he had never seen, you know, Kayla's Instagram before or anything, or really have like a good background of her dye style and color scheme. So every night, once I finish the blanket, we open up the advent for the next day together, and we take guesses as to what color it's going to be. But whenever we opened up the green, he was like, ooh, like, I like that it's turning so moody, the whole blanket. I was like, oh yeah, that's like kind of her thing, you know? So he was like, oh, that's really cool that she kind of has a theme to go through. And but he was saying he feels like it's just, he was saying it feels like she did a really good job just of being really cohesive. And I feel like she is representing herself so well in these colors. And I can't wait to have the finished project. I've been thinking about just the process of this blanket a lot, because I do spend, you know, hours with it a day. And I've decided this is the perfect project for December. I do not have to reference a pattern. I do not have to make notes. The way I'm doing it, I'm just magic knotting the minis together, so I don't even have to weave in my ends. And it is so relaxing and meditative, especially, you know, to have during a month that's typically pretty chaotic for a lot of people. I know that's kind of how this month has felt for us. Just my husband is doing finals right now, and so he's super busy, and the kids and I have just been a little bit sick, but I just have this perfect little knitting companion to keep me busy that I don't have to think about. I can just open my advent. I don't even have to think about planning my colors. I just knit, and I love the soothing, relaxing motion of garter stitch. I love to feel the fabric after it's made. You know, right now I can feel the texture as I'm knitting, which definitely I think is one of the reasons that I'm slower, I would say, than a lot of people. I don't know. I feel like I get distracted just by the experience of knitting. I like to watch the colors pass over my needles. I really enjoy just, you know, the meditative process of all of this. I will say, I'm pretty sure that Molly, I'm not totally sure about this actually. I should double check. But I want to say that Molly from A Homespun House had mentioned in one of her Vlogmases last year while she was knitting this blanket that it took her a fraction of the time to knit up a 20-gram skein than what it takes me. I want to say she only said it took her an hour or so. If any of you guys remember that, leave a comment below, because I'm really curious about that. This is 16 rows of knitting, and it takes me hours. Like, I would say, I'm kind of embarrassed about this, but I would say I have to knit on this 2 or 3 hours a day to get through the full 20 grams. Which, you know, really, I try to get up and have an hour to myself before the kids wake up to just drink coffee and read. So, you know, I'll knit on it during then, and I typically get about 4 rows done before the kids wake up. And then, like right now, all my kids are playing Contently, so I'm trying to knit away before the next snack or mealtime or activity that we have. So maybe I could get like 4 rows while they're still awake, and then I try to get the bulk of my knitting done when they go to bed at night. You know, just hanging out on the couch with my husband. But it is a big time commitment. I mean, this is really stretching me to get this done and to keep up with the Advent socks. Yeah, yeah, it's stretching me. And I know this is just for fun, but it's a really neat challenge to have. And I think it would be so cool to have a finished blanket by the new year. Because I do think I'll add a few more colors at the end of Naughty Pines that I already have. And then I'll have the border, of course. So I definitely won't finish it on Christmas, but hopefully by the New Year's, and then I would have a new blanket to add to our home. But anyways, those are just the thoughts I've been having in regard to these projects. Yeah, thank you for joining me, and thanks for sticking around. I know, you know, I love Jacqueline Salem's Brooklyn Knit Vlogmas, but my day-to-day life looks way different than that. So it's just kind of fun to get a different peek into people's lives, and yeah. So I'm gonna knit for a couple more minutes and then go check on the kids, and we are going to walk to the park. See you soon. So my friend Laura and I decided to try out a new to us yarn called Drops. We were intrigued by it from hearing Amber from A Lovely Yarn talk about, I believe it's Drops Air, and it is a blown yarn, and we were just so intrigued by how it would knit up into garments, so we decided that we would get some yarn and try it out together. So we're gonna do a little mini knit along together later next year. And we found a shop through Etsy, and I will leave the link below, but if you purchased a certain amount, then you received free shipping. So we went in together and placed our order, and then when I send her her Christmas gift, I'm going to send her yarn her way. So let's open this up and see what goodies we got. All right, here we go. This is our yarn acquisitions that we got. So Laura purchased all of the Drop Sky, and it is baby alpaca, merino, and wool. From what we could tell online, it is very similar to the Drops Air, but it is a lighter weight. And oh my goodness, you guys, this is so soft. This is so much softer than I was expecting. I got Drops Air. I got 2 different colorways. This is, I believe it's colorway number 6. And then, I can't remember the number for that one, but it was called Pearl White. So my plan to knit with mine is the Drama sweater, which I was inspired once again by Amber of A Lovely Yarn. That's what she knit with her Drops Air, and I thought it looked so beautiful. And I'm also planning to knit a shawl for somebody special in my life. I'm not going to say who, just in case she watches this podcast, but it will come soon. And then you will have to check out Back Porch Fiber Co.'s podcast to see what she has plans to knit with hers. So I am so excited to try out this yarn. I'm really glad that we were able to purchase together to minimize the shipping cost. But I don't know, from what I can tell just from touching it right here, this might not be the only time I get this yarn because it is unbelievably soft. And it was very affordable.